Howie Roseman is out there making money moves like Cardi B. Cut Michael Kendrick, saves the team $6 million. And I made a video the other day hinting that Brandon Graham's extension could be next. Could be coming up sometime this summer. That's at least what I think is going to happen. But there are people out there that don't want this to happen. Because Brandon Graham, well, he turned 30 in April, and since he turned 30, we're already making this assumption that he's too old. Brandon Graham is too old. Sometimes you have to look at things in a way a little bit deeper to understand some things. All right, so he turned 30, and all of a sudden it's like, my God, it's like when somebody gets on the Madden cover. You get scared. He just turned 30. Okay. All right. But let's think about this. Why do running backs normally deteriorate after they hit 30? Because once you hit 30, what goes? It's your athleticism. Well, Brandon Graham, the way he plays on the defensive line, it's about timing off the snap. It's about hand usage. It's about strength. Not so much about athleticism. Not so much about bending the edge, turning the corner, using that shoulder dip to get to the quarterback. He's about high football IQ. He's about being savvy. It's a lot like Michael Bennett. And there's a lot of similarities between the two. Michael Bennett emerged in his later years in the NFL, and the same thing with Brandon Graham. The other thing to keep in mind here, Brandon Graham was kind of a late bloomer, as I just explained with Michael Bennett. So being a late bloomer, not as much shed on those tires now, is there? And the other thing to keep in mind, too. All right, so we know that the Eagles have a very, very stout defensive line. So what does that mean when you have a stout defensive line, especially when you're in a Jim Schwartz unit? That means you're rotating in and out like a hockey team. Brandon Graham had the most snaps last year on the defensive line. But you know what? It was only 64% of the snaps. 728 total. So you compare that to Michael Bennett last year. Michael Bennett had 941, 84.79% of Seattle snaps. Michael Bennett is going to be 33 in November. Michael Bennett still kind of playing at a high level, not as great last year. All right, so he turned 32, and now he's starting to kind of fall just a little bit. Well, Brandon Graham's only 30, and I don't expect, like, a crazy extension like 5 years or something. I'm thinking like maybe 3. So Brandon Graham, by the time he's 33, that's when he's on the last year of his deal. So I don't see the age being a big deal in this situation. There's some people, though, that they are just petrified. And they're like, I don't want it to give it to Brandon Graham. That's why you drafted Josh Sweat. That's why you drafted Derek Barnett. That's why you have so-and-so and so-and-so. I don't see it like that. You have a guy that just came off the best year of his career. He's been outstanding the last 3 years. He's a versatile piece, one of the best run-stuffing defensive ends in the league. Those pressures are finally turning into sacks. Comes off a career-high sack total. I want Brandon Graham here as an Eagle extended. I want this to happen. It's not about rewarding him because of what he did. It's about extending him because I still think he can contribute even into his 30s. I mean, yeah, there are exceptions to the rule out there when it comes to athleticism because Julius Peppers is still getting it done. And what he's doing is just tremendous. But the guys that you see productive after they're 30, it's normally guys who have high football intellect, guys who are built more on strength than athleticism. And that's kind of what Michael Bennett is. That's what Brandon Graham is. So you look at him being 30, to me, age is just a number when it pertains to BG. So I'm not really worried about him being old, quote unquote, old. So again, he's going to be in a rotation. And when you think about the Eagles, they're going to be perennial Super Bowl contenders year in and year out. So you know what that means. That means he's really only going to be needed for the postseason. So you can kind of really just get away with really limiting his snaps during the regular season. So 64% of the snaps last year, well, once he gets a little bit older, okay, maybe you bring that down to like 55%, but you really ramp it up in the postseason because that's when you're really going to need him, and that's when he's really going to be making his money. Eating and feasting on quarterbacks, making plays down the line in the run game. Third and short, there's BG in the backfield, getting the tackle for loss and getting the defense off the field. So this age thing, don't worry about it. Get him the extension, make it happen, Howie, and I'll be happy. And there it is. All right, so that's my video for today. That's just a little quick bit on what I think about Brandon Graham and age being just a number when it pertains to good old BG. So with that being said, I am out of here. Enjoy your Saturday night. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, wherever you may be. I'm out. Peace.